Whether you're looking for answers to specific life questions or seeking to become the best version of you possible, welcome to the Mental Breakdown and Psychreg podcast, where we offer insight, information, and strategies based upon research and years of practice as clinical psychologists. So sit back, have a listen, and get connected with our hosts, Dr. Berney Wilkinson and Dr. Richard Marshall. Welcome back. Richard, what was the first thing you did this morning? I'll tell you the first thing I did.
I can tell you.
The first thing I did this morning was when I got out of bed, I made my bed.
No, you didn't.
I did.
Did you really?
I did. Every morning. So that's why...
There are too many other beings in my bed to make it. I mean, I could make the little...
Why are you eating beans in your bed?
Not beans. Beings.
Beings.
Dogs, people.
Oh.
I can make the bed.
Okay.
The dog is in the middle. There's people I don't know. No, because when I get up, everybody else is asleep.
Do you have a communal bed? And you just let anyone in?
And I wake up in the morning and I never know who's going to be there.
Well, now I know where I need to go if there's any...
If you ever get tired, come on
issues.
over. You know, it's a king-size bed. It was, my mother-in-law's or something. And, it's big enough to hold the
It's
neighborhood.
big enough to house a tribe.
It is. It's like being in an igloo with the entire clan. Anyway, no, when I could, I did.
Yeah.
I would always make my bed first. It was just something that I was in the habit of doing. I guess it started when I was in college because the room was so messy.
Right.
The bed wasn't made. So you really did that this morning?
Yeah, every morning.
You have a single bed?
Every morning I get up and when I get out of bed...
Why do you do that?
No,
seriously, don't give me... Why do you do that?
I don't know. I just do.
Have you always done it?
No, not always. Not always. But I started probably a few years ago. But I think that... And I'm trying to remember because the story that we're going to talk about today is from several years ago. And I'm trying to remember and I've been trying to remember since we talked about it.
Maybe
if I started when we first read about this story. And this was it's a
commencement address.
Right. It's a newer look. Right. It's an article from Psychology Today that we found that seems that revisits this commencement speech
at the University of Texas.
At the University of Texas from about 3 years ago, from 2014.
Which is on my mind because I was at the University of Texas for a while. And also, Austin is one of the 10 college towns recommended for people to live in.
Oh, see there?
It's one of the towns that are recommended. So you started making your bed about this time. So it could have been related to this.
Maybe. I can't remember when I started. But cool. So in this commencement speech, there was a admiral that spoke. He was a ex-Navy SEAL.
A SEAL commander.
A SEAL commander.
Right.
And one of the things he said something that you need to do every day is make your bed. And it's interesting because, of course, nobody really expected him to say that.
Right. Yeah, make your bed.
Yeah.
It's like talking to a kid. Have you made your bed yet? We can't go to third grade until you make your bed.
That's right. But it seems like such a mundane, trivial type of thing. But his point with it was really impressive. Yeah,
because if you ask 10 people, what's the most important thing you do every day? I don't think anybody would say make my bed.
Right.
Have a good breakfast, take a shower, But it is. It's mundane and it's simple, but it has significant positive consequences.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. As he discussed, and as you see when you start thinking about it in this way, making your bed in the morning is a simple task. Mm-hmm. But what happens is when you make your bed first thing in the morning, you have already accomplished something. Before you do anything else for the day, before you even get to the bathroom, sometimes you've already accomplished a task, which sets the stage for a very positive day.
To accomplish the next task.
Right.
To accomplish the next task. Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I noticed that on weekends. If I get up and I'm productive immediately, I get a great deal done in the morning.
Right.
But if you have coffee and then you listen to the radio and you read the news and you get in one of these slow starts and you don't accomplish anything for a couple of hours, it's harder to get anything done the rest of the day.
Absolutely.
Whereas if you get 3 or 4 things done, it sort of gives you some momentum to accomplish other things. And starting with your bed is the way to do it.
Yeah, so that was his big lesson was starting off with this accomplishment for the day of making your bed. And so, not that we're trying to, as you said, revert back to, childhood, about, how our parents used to make us make our beds. But it is a really important thing to consider as you are preparing for the day and as you're trying to get going. Maybe we should think about these mundane, trivial things, because if we accomplish those first thing, as you said, it sort of sets the stage for the rest of the day.
And there was some wisdom in our mothers and grandmothers saying, make your bed first. And it's not just to have a neat room. There are personal developmental reasons why it's good to start by making your bed. If Navy SEALs can do it,
right?
I think I'm enough of a wimp to do it.
That's right. Well,
but what did this psychologist add to it? She added another point. He gave that bit of advice and the positive outcome, but then this psychologist, whose name is Susan Noonan,
right? She, I think she's a physician, but she wrote the sort of some additional perspectives for the importance of making one's bed in the morning, and she talked about the importance of feeling of that you deserve a clean, nice place.
You deserve a nice space to live in. You're worthy of that. You deserve it, and that's another thing I hadn't thought of it that way.
Right.
A messy bed. But you're right. When you walk into a room and the bed is neatly made, you feel better about yourself.
Right. Right. So, and that probably echoes more the expectations from our parents than the starting off the day with accomplishing a task.
Right.
Our parents always told us to make our beds because you want your room to be presentable. What if somebody comes over and
it's like having clean underwear.
Right.
What if you get into an accident?
Right.
That happens often.
Exactly. Exactly. So, and of course the kid's argument is always, well, I'll just keep my door closed and then nobody will see it anyways. But the idea of having a clean space, I know that my desk, we joke about my desk often.
I don't. I think it's sad. I don't joke about it. I feel bad about your desk. I feel bad about your desk.
I take it as a joke because I couldn't tolerate or accept it as anything less than a joke.
Our desks do get out of hand during the course of the day.
Yeah.
We
got paper and stuff all over the place, things to do.
I start out every morning with a clean desk, and by noon it's
it's
like an army encampment.
You feel so much different sitting at a desk that's
neat
and organized as opposed to a desk that's cluttered and busy.
Yeah, I often you see these pictures of certain people like Steve Jobs. He's sitting at a desk and there's nothing on it.
Right.
I think, okay, clean desk, clean mind. Then you look at like Richard Feynman and physicists and mathematicians, and there's stacks of papers all over the place, and you think, which one do I want to be? What do I want my office to look like?
I have to admit that oftentimes when I look at Steve Jobs, any of those guys, and they have a clean desk, there's nothing on it, I'm thinking, he's not doing anything.
He's not doing anything.
He's just sitting there.
My first thought.
He's sits there and plays on video games,
clean desk if you're
playing Minecraft all the time or something. Get busy. Get some papers on there.
Earn the money.
That's right.
Earn that $1,000 a minute that we're paying.
That's right. Oh gosh, but it is true that when you have that clean working environment, you feel more productive because you feel like you have some organization to things. It sort of your physical space is an external representation of the internal space.
That's right. Cluttered desk, cluttered head.
Right. So starting out the day, making your bed, suggests that I deserve this clean, orderly place to live.
And she makes one other point that we made about a week ago in one of our talks. We said for people who are experiencing depressive symptoms, take action, do something.
Right.
Okay? Doesn't matter what you do, something.
Yeah.
And she characterizes this making of your bed as doing something.
Yeah.
Even if you're severely depressed, if you can get out of bed and make your bed, that's an accomplishment. And so I think that's good advice too, that if you tend to be experiencing depressive symptoms, start your day out by making your bed, and at least you've accomplished that, and then that can lead to other accomplishments during the day, and you'll start to feel better about things.
Absolutely.
Seeing a messy room adds to your depression.
Yep, that's true.
So there's a couple of good benefits beyond in case your grandmother comes to visit and sees your messy room. That's what we were always told. What if we get company and they're going to see your room?
Yeah. I said they'll be fine.
She doesn't mind.
They don't care.
Yeah, Grandma doesn't mind if my bed isn't made.
Grandma probably does care.
That's not. Well, yeah.
So.
But there's good old wisdom in this stuff. Eat your vegetables before you eat the cookie, before you have dessert. So there's a lot of wisdom in this.
Oh no, I eat dessert first.
You were on the Titanic, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
You never know.
That's right.
Don't take your chance.
Hey,
don't
gotta have the ice cream.
Okay.
So, all right.
Yeah,
so
make your bed.
Make your bed every morning. Make your bed.
I want everybody in my family to listen to this podcast. It'll be streamed into our TVs and it'll play repeatedly for 24 hours. It's going on Netflix, and I want you all to watch it and start making your beds. Darn it.
When you were talking about it, I imagine like all the lights out and just like a red light.
That's it.
The room is in that red glow, and it's playing over and over with flashing lights.
That's right. I'm going to loop it through my house.
That's right. So, all right. So, yes, make your bed and start out your day on a positive step. So, all right. That's it. Until next time, stay happy, stay healthy, and forget to be afraid.